Yeah, I'm so disappointed because I just walked out of an aerial yoga. I just walked out of an aerial yoga class. And I'm just trying to wrap my mind around, is fitness reserved for a particular type of person? Like, do some instructors instantly get annoyed when they see certain women or certain energy enters the room? I really don't understand, because first things first, I check into the class and I know we're not supposed to wear jewelry in the class, right? So I'm taking my jewelry off. But I asked, I said, hey, my aura ring is not dangling. Can I leave it on? It's a fitness ring. She says no. So I said, okay, I understand. Because it say no jewelry because it'll get hung up in the fabric. So I go and put my ring up. And mind you, I have already checked into the class. And there were only 6 people signed up for this class. So the lady, as I go back in, I have my yoga mat, I have my jacket on, and I have my water bottle. And I'm walking in and she stands in front of me and says, you can leave all your things in the locker. I said, well, can I sit my mat down? I don't need my mat this time. And she goes, oh yeah, but your jacket and your water. My water? This is like my 5th time coming here. Y'all have a new rule, you can't bring water in? And I said, okay, that's understandable. So I walk back to the locker, but at this point, whenever energy makes me feel like, whenever there's unwelcoming energy, I'm on my way out the door. It's no negotiating. I don't stay where I'm not wanted. So I'm really starting to like pack things up and get ready to go. Oh, this kid's little airplane just got stuck. Let me help them. You guys need help? No problem. But yeah, like I was saying, no water bottle was crazy. So I'm just like, I'm about to go. I'm about to go. So as I'm packing my things up to leave, the lady's like, what's your name? She's talking to like the back of my head because I'm not even turning around to talk to her. And I go, Asia. I go by the last 4 letters of my name whenever I sign up for things because it's easier to pronounce. And she goes, Angela? And I'm like, lady, first of all, it's not that many people signed up for this class. I saw everyone that had to check in on the iPad. You have not one Angela on here. So stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, please. I said, no, it's Asia. Well, is this your first time? No, ma'am, it's not. Well, is this your first time with me? No, ma'am, it's not. Oh, well, you can bring your water bottle in. That's fine this time. As y'all can see, I'm in my car.
This is a story about the time I humiliated my entire family at church. Welcome back. I was 6 years old. I grew up Mormon, and in Mormon congregations, they have this like group of kids called the primary, and about once or twice a year, the primary kids would get up on stage at church and do like this whole program where they would sing songs that decades of therapy are never going to get out of my head, and kids would get up and like speak lines, whatever else. And so I was 6. And I was assigned to get up and deliver this line. The line was, pioneer children walked all day and never complained. And then the kids were all going to sing a song about the pioneer children and how like they never complained. And that's why we should always just do whatever our parents tell us to do. It was very manipulative and very fun. I was a stubborn child, and I told my parents I did not want to get up and deliver this line. I was like, I'm absolutely not going to do this. My parents were like, please do it. All the other kids are going to be doing it. And I was like, if all the other kids were going to jump off a cliff, should I do it too? Who's the goddamn parent here? I'm 6. So my mom said, well, if you're scared, I can go up there with you and I can like stand next to you while you deliver the line. I was like so offended because I was not scared to get up on stage. I'm a natural born performer. I love attention. That was not the problem. The problem was I hated church and I hated doing things. And so that's why I didn't want to do it. But I was so offended by this. And I think I was like maybe a really wicked, evil child, because in that moment when my mom made this offer, I was like, okay, Mom, you can go up there with me. And my mom was like relieved because it meant that I was going to get up and do this thing. And then I made this plan in my head. And so the day came, it became my turn. I go marching up onto the stage. My mom is trailing me. I get up on the little podium and I'm standing there and the whole audience is like looking at me because I was a very cute kid, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself very often. And I say my line, Pioneer children walked all day and never complained. And everybody was like so pleased with my conformity. I could see it in their eyes. I had captivated them with my chipmunk voice and blue clip-on bow tie. And then my mom turned to walk off the stage because that was the plan. And all of the, kids start singing the song about Pioneer children. And I did not leave the mic. And instead I grabbed it and pulled it up to my mouth like a drunk lounge singer. And I yelled into the mic. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the stupidest thing I have ever done in my entire life. And then I jumped off the little podium thing, booster thing, so that I could reach the mic. I jumped off of it and I ran over and I slapped my mom's ass in front of the entire congregation. It made an echo sound and everybody just gasped. I was locked in a room for a very long time after this. Well, a couple decades later, I came out as a gay homosexual who's gay. And so I decided I wasn't going to go to church anymore because I didn't really fit in my plans. And then a little bit after that, I met and married my husband, who never grew up religious and suddenly was learning a lot about Mormon culture because he moved to Utah and my family was still very Mormon. And I have a great relationship with my family. We've always been very chill with each other, even though we have a very different view on religion and whatever else. A couple of years ago, my mom called me and she said, Dad is going to be speaking in church, which Mormons take turns getting up every Sunday and speaking. And she said, Dad's going to be speaking in church and absolutely no pressure, but do you and Skylar, your husband, do you guys want to come? And I was about to say no, because I was I do not want to go to church. And my husband, who's a much better person than me, yelled into the phone, yes, we will be there. And then he's looked at me and he's obviously we're going to go support your family. So I was ugh. So I had to go to church. And so we get to church that Sunday and my mom had saved a couple of seats for us. And so we go and sit by her and I was dressed not appropriately for church. And my husband was in a shirt and a tie and whatever. He went all out and really tried to be respectful. And we go and sit down and I was my behavior has not improved since I was 6 years old at church, as it turns out, because I was just scrolling social media on my phone, whispering jokes to whoever would listen and, being disruptive. And there were a lot of shushes. And my husband was sitting up straight and watching and being respectful and singing the hymns and the songs and whatever else. And when my dad got up to speak, he grabbed my mom's hand they were about ready to see their toddler perform at a recital. And he laughed super hard at all of my dad's jokes. He was the most supportive audience member. And at the end of the meeting, they were singing the closing number. And my mom was singing louder than everybody else because she always sings really loud. She has a great voice, but she really sings loud. And so when she finished singing, my husband turned to her and with so much admiration, and he was Kathy, you carried this place on your back today. And my mom was beaming. And I realized in that moment, I was never the son my parents deserved. So instead, I married him.
I was pickpocketed in London today. A thief, a criminal, a hooligan, took my phone in the train station. I came down from Edinburgh for one night only for a little work thing. I flew into London City. Ubers and taxis in London are so expensive. So I was that's fine, I'll just take the tube. I was a little bit nervous about doing it by myself because usually I'm with Matt and there was a lot of transfers, but I was I'm a big girl, I can handle it. I flawlessly execute multiple transfers, London City Airport to Canning Town, then the Jubilee line to Green Park, then the Piccadilly line to Piccadilly Circus. I was so proud of myself. Pickpocketing and phone snatching are big problems in London, and I do come here kind of frequently for work. So I was aware of it when I got off the train. As I was getting off the train, I was I'm gonna put my phone away so that I'm not walking around the train station carrying my phone. The Tortured Poets department had just come on and Fortnite was playing. So I get to the escalators and I'm headed out of the train station and my AirPod Maxes disconnect. You know how they do that little bloop sign when the Bluetooth disconnects, if you go out of range? I'm that's weird. So I go and I reach down for my coat pocket to get my phone, and it's not there. Mind you, I had just put my phone in my pocket because I was thinking about the fact that I didn't want my phone to get snatched. So I was you know what? I'm not gonna freak out yet. Maybe when I was going to put my phone in my pocket, it fell out of my pocket or it slipped or I missed or something. It's a busy station. Let me go look. I retraced my steps over that train station for 30 minutes. Obviously, I don't find it because it was stolen, and now I'm getting kind of worried. I'm in a city that I'm not that familiar with. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how to get to my hotel from this station. I have this series of panels that I'm meant to be attending in an hour. I leave the station. I'm right above ground. Hail down the first taxi I see, and I'm take me to the nearest Apple store. I then spent about 4 hours walking between the Apple Store and Vodafone trying to get this figured out. The thing about me is I moved from the US like a year ago, but I had a dual eSIM. So I had an active US phone number and an active UK number. I could get a physical SIM for the UK number, but I couldn't get an eSIM because I didn't have the phone on me, and then I can't do anything for my US number unless I contact Verizon. But I decided that my US number is not a priority. Let me just get my UK number, get back to my hotel. I'll figure it out. I'll call Verizon next week. Then I realized I don't have any other device with me that's signed into iCloud, so I can't get into my iCloud because I can't do two-factor authentication. I've been phoneless for hours at this point, and then I realized I can't actually sign into my iCloud, which means I can't restore an iPhone, I can't do a backup. Like, I can turn on my new phone, but I can really only get my UK number to work. The phone is basically a blank slate otherwise. But I'm like, you know what? That's fine, because all I need is to get to my hotel, and then maybe I can figure out how to call my husband. My husband is at home with my laptop that's signed into iCloud, so I was like, if I can get a hold of him, then that's fine. Only problem is, when was the last time you memorized phone numbers? I have my husband's US phone number memorized, and at no point in the last year did I memorize his UK number. So now what am I meant to do? I know 5 phone numbers in this entire world. My US number, my UK number, my husband's US number, which is no longer active, and my mom and dad. And I can't get into my Gmail account. I can't get into anything because all of my apps, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Gmail, everything I have is backed up to both of my phone numbers for two-factor authentication. And if I don't have access to one of those phone numbers, I can't get into anything. Everything I have is set up to be as difficult to get into as possible because I don't want to get hacked, which is good in general, but made this really difficult for me. Get to the hotel, I get on Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi calling isn't working. Okay, I decide to say fuck it to the international calling fees, and I figure out how to dial outside of the UK, and I call my mother. I am racking up so much money in fees. I explain the situation to her. I'm like, call Matt, tell him to call me at the hotel, and then ask to be transferred to my room so he can call the phone in my room. I need him to get my laptop that has my Apple ID, and I need him to help me figure this out. And then I don't hear anything for a long time, so I called my mom back, paid more fees. She said that Matt was trying to get through to me, but the line in my hotel room was busy, which it wasn't. I wasn't using the phone at that point. Then I remembered I do have Matt's email address memorized. I go and I use somebody else's Gmail account to email Matt, and the headline, the subject line was just Mary, urgent, lost my phone, need help in all caps, because I didn't want him to think that it was spam from a random email address. I emailed back his phone number, and I called him on my blank slate phone, which I'm recording this on right now actually. And together we were able to work to get into my Apple ID. And then phase 2 of the problem started. Turns out that the phone I had previously, the phone that was stolen today, was a 14, and I got it in 2023. And apparently from that point on, my iCloud backup just didn't work. Because when I'm going to restore my phone, I'm seeing no backups available. I get back in touch with Apple. I spend a couple hours on the phone with Apple. And at the end, the conclusion was just yep, you don't have any backups. And I was like, how are there no backups? I pay for every little bullshit Apple subscription you tell me to. What do you mean there's no backups? They don't really know the answer to that. I actually have another call with Apple support scheduled this evening. But as it stands right now, no backups. So I have lost about 90,000 photos and videos. Every photo and video I've ever taken from 2015 to now, just gone. But this wasn't the most annoying thing that happened today, but not for nothing. After the panels I was scheduled to attend today, the talks I was going to go listen to, pre-scheduled a nail appointment, and I had to put 45 pounds down as a deposit on the nail appointment. And then as soon as I got my UK number working, I managed to start receiving calls and texts to that number, I get a call from the nail salon being you didn't come in for your appointment. And I realized that I didn't go in for that appointment. And here's the thing. Not the biggest deal in the grand scheme of things, but I was holding it together today. I was handling things. I was thinking well under pressure. I was remaining calm under stress. I wasn't freaking out, I didn't freak out thinking I'm in the city, I don't know where I am. No, I found a taxi. I go to Apple. I go to Vodafone. I figure things out, right? I've held it together. I didn't even cry when I learned that I had lost 90,000 photos, videos, 10 years worth of sentimental memories that I can never replace. Then I get that call saying I missed the nail appointment and have forfeited my 45-pound deposit. And I will say though, when my husband was calling the hotel trying to get a hold of me, he told the front desk what happened, and they said, oh, that's such a shame. Is there anything we can do to help? And he asked them to get me flowers. So guest experiences came up and knocked on my door and brought me flowers. which does help, actually. It did make me feel better. I'm very grateful that I was able to like get a new phone, and yes, I got pickpocketed, but I didn't get hurt or anything. But so I'm grateful for that, but let this be your sign. Please go back up your phone. Please go make sure your iCloud is working, like right now.
All right, y'all. Story time on how I catfished my baby daddy because I found out he was on POF while we was in a relationship. All right, so I thought the relationship was going pretty cool. We was getting along. Everything was all fine. Like, motherfuckers was acting real normal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, like, my man is not acting up. It's all cool. But, like, things got weird. Like, he started being mean to me and stuff, like, out of nowhere. And I was just trying to see what was up. So, one night, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Let's play Drunk Uno. Got him a little drunk, you know what I'm saying? And then when he get drunk, he, like, get his phone a lot or whatever. So, he all up in his phone, and he playing Candy Crush. I'm talking about that boy will play Candy Crush until he reached level, like, 7,000, okay? And I think my eyebrows are a little swollen because I just got through shaving them because they outgrew the tattoos. But, yeah, so he was acting a little weird, like, on his phone, trying to be all distant. You know, when you drunk, like, you want to be, like, lovey-dovey and stuff like that. So, I'm like, hey, come love on me. Like, we drunk. Like, what's up? Y'all like, oh, I ain't in the mood. Like, shit, my head's spinning. I'm just trying to focus on my game. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, I know you ain't no drinker, so shit, you know what I'm saying? Roll up. Go ahead and spark you one. So, you know what I'm saying? You can get a little bit litter. Maybe they put you in your mood, you know what I'm saying? We can get down with the get down. So, he all acting like he don't want to be touched and stuff like that. So, I'm like, okay, like, something is really going on around here. So, he playing his little Candy Crush. I'm just minding my business, playing my music, dancing around, doing whatever I want to do or whatever, right? And I see him start to doze off. When I see him start to doze off, I'm like, okay, got something. Yeah, like, yeah, what's in that phone? Because I don't hear no Candy Crush sound. Why you playing Candy Crush with the phone, like, level on low? I look over there. He over there smiling and cheesing and shit. I'm like, fuck is you cheesing it when the prize is right here? You know what I'm saying? What you cheesing it in that phone? So I give us a little time, act like I'm not paying attention to him, but I'm really paying attention to him. So he dozed off, boom. Phone still open. I'm looking at it, the phone looking at me. I'm looking at the phone. I'm drunk. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to sleep too. Like, I ain't gonna mess with the phone. So I laid down. I dozed off a little bit. I wake up. I look at the phone. It's still open. Still on Candy Crush. I'm like, God, this is a sign. I pick up the phone and go through it. So I pick up the phone and go through it or whatever. And he on POF. So if you don't know what POF is, it's plenty of fish or whatever. Plenty of hoes, in my opinion. So I go through it, and he talking to this little shorty or whatever, trying to get to know her and stuff like that. And I find out, like, the little hoe don't even live too far away. I'm like, oh, you trying to meet bitches close by, okay. So I don't even wake him up or whatever. I'm just going through the text messages. He being all sweet to her. They, like, saying they want to meet up or whatever. I'm like, okay. I ain't even gonna wake him up and start no drama because, like, y'all know niggas, like, they gonna lie. You can have the proof in their face and they're going to lie. Boom. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something different. So I goes and I download POF on my phone. I go find somebody else's pictures. I really don't even know who the girl was or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? I made her look real North Little Rock. And if you don't know what North Little Rock is, you know what I'm saying? It's like hood, but it's not like hood or whatever, okay? Because there's some bad bitches in North Little Rock. So I made the POF or whatever. I figured out how to work the little app and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get in my little zone or whatever. So, boom, I finally came across him or whatever. So, you know, I get on there and, you know, I get in touch with him like, hey, you're cute, this and that. I knew he wasn't going to reply back, like, right then and there because his phone right there, he knocked out and stuff like that. So I text my homegirl the whole plan, and she's like, yeah, we're going to do this. This is the plan or whatever. Okay. So, boom, later on, he wake up. He immediately, like, he was paranoid. When he woke up and saw his phone open, like, he was paranoid. I'm like, babe, you good? Like, what's going on? He was like, no, I'm true. I just woke up, you know what I'm saying? I'm drunk, this and that. You know, I'm just got a hangover and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, you good? Like, you know what I'm saying? We just chilling today. So the day go by, and the next day he had to work, and I was staying at the house. Okay. He messaged me back. Well, my POF account back. He like, oh, you cute, like, where you from, where you live, and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I'm over here in North Little Rock. I stay right off, I think I said, like, 13th or something like that. And he like, oh, yeah, like, shit, you right around the corner from me or whatever. I'm like, yeah, maybe we should link up or whatever. So I think it was a Sharks or something like that was across from down there or whatever, that little road of Pike or whatever it's called, Pike. So I think it was like a Sharks. I'm like, yeah, I stay across from Sharks. It's a street across from Sharks. I stay over there or whatever. He like, all right, I'm gonna pull up on you tonight when I get off work, this and that. You know what I'm saying? We can link up, sit in the car, smoke, get to know each other. I'm like, yes, like I'm off tonight. We can link up, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. So, okay, he's talking to this bitch all day, which is me, but he barely texted me back. I'm like, oh, okay, so you don't want to text me back and you just, just met this new bitch. And you're texting her back, like, with a quickness. So I got something for you. It's all good. Okay. I want to say, y'all, this was around a holiday. It might have been Thanksgiving or Christmas. I don't remember, but it was a holiday because we went to my parents' house or whatever. I want to say it had to be like Thanksgiving or something, but we went to my parents' house or whatever, and I remember this. And then my homegirl was texting my homegirl, like, yeah, girl, we over here at my family house, and he across the room, like, texting. I'm on the couch, and he at the dining room table. He texting and, like, just giving me, like, no attention. I'm like, oh, okay, but he's giving the POF bitch attention because I'm texting him. So he like, yeah, like I really could pull up on you in the next couple of minutes or whatever, this and that. He was like, and I was like, no, I'm busy right now, but what about later on tonight? You know what I'm saying? He like, yeah, that's a bit. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm off work, this and that. So me being me, I'm like, babe, what you want to do tonight? Like, you know what I'm saying? We both off work tomorrow. We ain't got nothing to do. Like, let's get, you know what I'm saying? Let's have some drinks or something. Let's do something. He like, oh, babe, I'm tired, this and that. And he was like, shit, my boys and them trying to go hoop tonight or whatever. I think they used to go to like UCA or something like that, the hoop. They used to play basketball, whatever, out in like Conway or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know you love basketball. Go do that. Okay, so he's still over there smelling on the phone like everything all good or whatever. And I'm over there smelling too because, baby, you think you talking to a bitch when it's really me. So fast forward later on that night, he like, all right, man, I'm finna go hoop. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Text me that you made it safe. Let me know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. He was like, oh yeah, I need to stop by your auntie house. I need to grab me some za. I'm like, oh, okay. So we go to my auntie house to see her, chill for a minute or whatever. And he was like, oh, babe, he was like, you want to stay over here while I go hoop or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So I called my homegirl over. My name Whitney. Like, I don't care how much drop names. Her name Whitney. So she over there, you know what I'm saying? We on the couch, we giggling and shit like that. Because I'm literally texting him while he's there. Like, and he don't even fucking know I'm texting. So he's sitting there texting or whatever. He was like texting the girl to my, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm headed to the car right now or whatever. So me and my homegirl, we bust out laughing because like this nigga is literally sitting on the couch. Like you ain't left me here to nowhere or whatever. So he was like, yeah, what's the address? What we meeting up at? So I had sent the address. So me and my homegirl, we went back in my auntie room. We laying on the bed laughing and stuff like that or whatever. He's still texting the girl like, yeah, I can't wait to see you. Like, shit, you gonna let me grab on that ass, this and that, this and that. I'm like, yeah, like, I ain't scary. Like, you know what I'm saying? We grown, this and that, this and that. So me and my homegirl, we just laughing, cracking the fuck up because, like, the plan is in motion. Okay, so he leave or whatever, and me and my homegirl was like, we gonna wait a minute before we ride out. So he texting the girl like, yeah, I'll be there in a few minutes. I'm finna stop by the gas station, grab some woods or whatever, and you know what I'm saying? I'll be there. So boom, me and Whitney, we straight just jumped into action or whatever. We get in her little car. My mama, that motherfucker get down. She called that motherfucker Diane. We got down to little Diane or whatever. So we start going down Pike. We circling the block or whatever, and we see his car, whatever. He parks on the road that the girl told him to park at or whatever. Okay, so I get out. She dropped me off like down the street. I get out and I walk to a house and I looked at the address. So I text someone like, hey, I'm at this address. Pull up. You know what I'm saying? You could pull up in the driveway. You know what I'm saying? This is my crib. You know, everything all good. So, baby, yeah, he pull up in the driveway. He texts like I'm outside or whatever. And I'm like, okay, give me just a few minutes. I'm coming out. Baby, when he seen me, the whole look like he seen a ghost. I come banging on the door. I'm like, get the fuck out the car. I'm on my mom finna tell your ass. And when I told y'all, I told that hoe every which way but loose. I know you didn't think you was gonna sit there and play me, boy. You sitting there right there at my parents' house talking to a hoe, telling me you gonna go see them. Then you go sit at my auntie house talking about you on your way and this and that. You was sitting right there on the couch and everything, smiling this shit in your motherfucking phone. Let me tell y'all, I told that hoe I told him a new hoe, and y'all, I'm not playing.
Get ready with me when I tell you how I met this girl who I didn't know at the time let a dog eat her out, you know? So, how do I even start this? It was sophomore year. I was a sophomore at this high school that I went to, and I had some freshman classes because I didn't finish my freshman classes from last year. So I had freshman gym and then freshman reading. And I had this girl in my gym class, and then I also found out that I had her in my choir class after gym. So I had her in my gym class, and I don't know how we became friends, but we just started talking. We didn't talk to anyone else. Like I'm not the type to like go to people and talk to them and just like make friends. Like back then I wasn't like that. Like I was the quietest person in the room. Like I would walk around with my head down type shit. Like I was just so like I have anxiety so bad that I wouldn't talk to no one, and I wouldn't like people would think that I was a bitch or I was just rude, but honestly I just had anxiety and I just didn't know how to talk to anyone or interact with anyone. But so I met her freshman year, and I remember our first day like talking. She was telling me I was asking her like what school she came from, because she was a new student. So she was telling me like she came from this other high school and shit, and I guess she moved because some girls were trying to fight her because of some guy or something like that, or something like that. It had to do with a guy. And so like a few weeks go by, and I like see that no one talks to her or nothing like that. Just like guys will talk to her, but like no girls or anything. A few weeks go by of us being friends, and like, a few weeks later she stopped coming to school. Like she just stopped showing up and all that. And so I go into gym and I hear these girls like talking about her. Like they weren't talking, like I just heard her name. So I walked in and I wanted to like know what was going on. So as soon as I walked in, like it got quiet. Like they had stopped talking about her. And I was like, what did you say about that girl? I said her name, and they're like, oh, nothing, like it was nothing. And I was like, I'm not mad or anything. I just want to know like what were y'all talking about? And they're like, well, you should already know, or you probably already know. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, like that's the girl that got exposed for letting the dog eat her out. And then I was like, you're lying. How the fuck did no one tell me? And I was like, when I told them like how did they know it was her, this and that, and they're like, there's a video. She sent the video to her boyfriend thinking like it was gonna turn him on or something, and he ended up sending it to his friends, and it got out. It was like a viral video that had went viral like years ago of like a girl just letting a dog eat her out. And fucking she had stopped coming to school. Like she would not come to school at all. And I remember the day she did come back to school, I had went up to her and I was like, hey, like where have you been? And she was like, oh, like I just been having family problems, like it's just family problems, like I can't come to school, this and that. And I was like, these girls were telling me that I guess you got exposed for letting a dog eat you out. And then she was all like, no, wait, what are you talking about? That's the reason I moved from my other school, is because girls keep thinking that that's me and this and that. And I was like, if it's not you, then go tell them so they could stop spreading that rumor. Because if it was me and that rumor was getting spread around, I would have shut it down real quick. And I had told her like, oh, like go tell them, like, bitch, tell them it's not you. What the fuck? And she was like, no, just leave it, this and that. Like, I don't want to start no problems, this and that. And so after that, we basically just stopped being friends. But it's fucking crazy that. And those girls, when I asked them, I was like, why didn't you guys tell me that, like, that was her? Or, like, what the fuck? Like, y'all just let me walk around with her? And they were like, oh, we thought you were her bodyguard. The fuck? Bitch. What? What the fuck? What the hell, Yante? And, yeah. And I think it was because in high school I wasn't girly girl. I would wear a lot of sweats and, like, tees and pro clubs. I wasn't girly girl at all. I would just probably just straighten my hair the most and just wear like jeans with a baggy shirt or like sweats. I just wasn't that girly girl back then. But yeah, that's my story time on how I was friends with a girl who let a dog eat her out.